I'm just checking, Prabhuji.
Anyway, so I have already put 10, assuming it is bit on 9. Okay, so this is chapter 6, no, chapter 4. Yeah. So this is transcendental knowledge, this chapter. Mm. So the lineage of transcendental knowledge, first is parampara, the lineage is explained. Mm. Then verses 1 to 3, the lineage of transcendental knowledge, parampara, okay. 1 to 3, Rajarshi understood this science in disciple succession. Krishna to sun god, Manu, Ikshaku, but is broken. Krishna explains it to Arjuna, his devotee and friend. The fourth is Arjuna's question, sun god is born before you, how did you speak to him? And 5 to 10 verses, the divine nature of Lord Krishna's appearance. Krishna remembers all his previous appearance, but not Arjuna. The uniqueness, time, and purpose of Krishna's appearance and the result of properly knowing about it. Krishna, the creator and combination of all parts. Krishna reciprocates with the worshipper's mood. Then people worship demigods for quick results. Krishna created the four varnas. Krishna's work does not affect him. Liberated souls work by understanding Krishna. Hmm. Hmm. Then understanding karma on the path of jnana. Hmm. Intricacies of karma are difficult to understand. On the platform of jnana, understanding karma. Okay. Seeing in action, symptoms of detached worker. Then attaining jnana through yajna. Different as sacrifice, demigod worship, Brahman worship, Sanjama, self-control, and so on. Purposes of sacrifice, development of jnana, destruction of sins, and attaining spiritual realm. Then 34 to 42, method, results, and glories of attaining jnana. Attaining jnana from a guru by surrender, inquiry, and service. That is transcendental knowledge. That jnana is not some dry knowledge. Transcendental knowledge. The results and glories of jnana, no bewilderment, pure vision, destruction of sins. Role of faith in inquiring jnana. Who can and cannot attain jnana? Reaction, free work, rise and fight. Okay. The previous chapter, Krishna described how lust causes material bondage and how one has to curb the lust by deliberate spiritual intelligence. In this chapter, Krishna presents transcendental knowledge by which uh, um, uh, one can be protected from the bondage of lust. Krishna describes how he personally gave this spiritual knowledge to great kings who are meant to impart it to the citizens by education, culture, and devotion, and thus help them utilize the opportunity of the human form of life. So, personally gave this knowledge to great kings and who are meant to impart it. Okay. So, in the previous chapters, Krishna described Nishkam Karma, dutiful detached work, which is said to be the means to attain Jnana. The goal of Nishkam Karma is Jnana. In this chapter, Krishna presents Jnana or transcendental knowledge at the glories of such Jnana and the glories of such Jnana. And he begins by describing the lineage in which that knowledge descends. Clear, no? So it's a link. You can understand. Because Krishna explained about the problem of lust and everything and how one should curb the lust by deliberate spiritual intelligence. So how and that spiritual intelligence, how it comes by transcendental knowledge. Yeah, so by which one can be protected from the bondage of lust. So that's how he explains it. And then second thing is that Nishkam karma leads to the detached work leads to attaining transcendental knowledge. So the goal of Nishkam karma is jnana. So Krishna presents this transcendental knowledge, the glories of transcendental knowledge. So that way he presents in this chapter also. Okay, so let us move forward with the first verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ahamavyayam Vivasvamanave Praha Munir Ikshva Kave Bravit. Translation. Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivasvan. And Vivasvan instructed to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed to Ikshvaku. Yes. Can you read the purport? Virat Prabhu.
Purport. Herein we find the history of the Bhagavad Gita traced from a remote time when it was delivered to the royal order of all planets, beginning from the sun planet. The kings of all planets are especially meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of the Bhagavad Gita in order to be able to rule the citizens and protect them from material bondage to lust. Human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge, in eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the executive heads of all states and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to all the citizens by education, culture, and devotion. In other words, the executive heads of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that the people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path, utilizing the opportunity of the human form of life. In this millennium, the sun god is
So
known as.
yeah, just 1 minute. So this is see, this is one thing. We say that the royal order should understand science of Gita in order to be able to rule the citizens and protect them from the bondage to lust. See, this is one of the responsibility of the leader. Responsibility of the king that the citizens should not get astray. They should remain self-controlled like that, because the lust is a very deadly and bad uh, thing which actually can create unnecessarily so much of chaos in the society. So lust, anger, and greed has to be curbed. So that's why so the spiritual culture is what the spiritual discipline. This all is very vital to be instituted in the country. So when the people are engaged meaningfully and they're following the dharma and they're following Krishna consciousness, then naturally they'll not have this bondage of lust. So, yeah. So human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge. That's why. So Gurukula systems were there. So in eternal relation with the Supreme Holy God, and the executives of all states and planets are obliged to impart these lessons to the citizens by education, culture, and devotion. So we would have voice, Vedic oasis for inspiration, culture, and education. We would have your education, culture, and devotion. In other words, the executive heads of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that the people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path, utilizing opportunity of the human knowledge. So this is a main thing which any leader should take care, that he should have a spiritual facilities created. If the leader is not able to create spiritual facilities for his subordinates and he's just doing whatever, that won't be appropriate, because without having a spiritual foundation, the facilities for performing Krishna consciousness, so the citizens will not, or the people will not be able to, subordinates will not be able to curb this lust, and then there'll be a lot of problems. That's why, like in our situation also, when we are guiding the students or we are sharing Krishna consciousness, so we have to create facilities for our devotees by which they can remain engaged in Krishna consciousness. That is the responsibility of the leader. Like we see Prabhupada, how Prabhupada, can you just tell me some of the things which Prabhupada did by which he is able to by which he is able to curb the lust of his people who are following his path. Can you just share something what Prabhupada, what he has given, what kind of facilities he has given? Yes, Virat Prabhu or others.
He organized the initiation ceremony so that people would take a vow to follow the four regulative principles.
Correct. So that people can follow the four principles. He instituted those four principles as a vow in doing initiation so that they can follow them nicely. What else?
He introduced a higher taste to people's lives, which is far beyond lust. So he introduced the love of Krishna and the service of Krishna.
Yeah, but some practical ways you have to tell. Like what?
Or practical way.
How? Practical.
He created service in the name of Krishna. So he engaged people's minds in physical
So
activities.
many services like book distribution, no?
Right.
Like it is said that if you engage in strong book distribution, look at this, then because you're always in the mood of giving, trying to distribute and give message, preach, then that energy of the lust is utilized. Lust is like strong desire, to now the strong desire is selfishly oriented. That is lust. The strong force that's selfishly oriented. But that same energy, if you dovetail for service to Krishna, then that lust sublimates. So that becomes a powerful constructive energy can be used in Krishna's service. So then one can be freed from the bondage of lust, and lust turns into love, like that. So that's why one should engage in heavy services like book distribution, cooking in the kitchen, get into some kind of absorbing service. So he has given so many varieties of service: managerial service, book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan. Western devotees during purpose time they would go for Harinam Sankirtan for 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, like that. What else, Prabhu?
Chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Chanting Hare Krishna. Yes, so many devotees, as soon as they come, first thing, chant Hare Krishna, and be happy. Kirtan. So that is a powerful way, you can absorb in Kirtan and chanting personal japa. So since Prabhupada says, if somebody is neglectful of chanting 16 rounds, good chanting 16 rounds every day, then any moment he can fall in Maya. So to be remain protected, one has to very strictly follow this vow of chanting 16 rounds. Yes.
Devotee association.
Devotee association also is a great facility because that way you remain protected. Devotee association is considered like a fencing. It's like a fence. Yes. Anything else? And also so many Prabhupada books. We are reading books, see? Trans education, right? So we have got education. So education is through his lectures, his books. So much Prabhupada has given us education. And then culture. So we have the culture of like there is Prabhupada has taught us not to have like free mixing between men and women. There should be some kind of etiquettes while dealing with opposite sex. So that etiquette should be followed. It should not be, should be respectful and with proper etiquette, so that they are culturally protected also. And also, yeah, everything, like even the how Prabhupada has given us the dress style also, like men wearing dhoti kurta, women wearing saris, and then having tilak, kantimala, and so all this actually is culture, which also protects, because that way, the devotional environment is created, correct? That because of that kind of culture and devotion. So that automatically nullifies, counteracts the lust, and then people only think of service. People think of doing chanting, kirtan, spreading Krishna consciousness, like that. Yeah. So there is a proper etiquette, proper lifestyle, dressing, behaving, all that. So everything is taught. And then also, Prabhupada has also installed so many temples in all the places so that people can go in the temple and take darshan of deities and remain absorbed in seeing the beautiful form of the Lord instead of getting attracted to so many illusory forms, right? So that is also there. Prabhupada in his books also, there's so many pictures. So Prabhupada says that these pictures are windows to spiritual world. One can absorb himself in seeing this wonderful deities forms and the pictures of the spiritual world, like that. So one should, the leader should create the facility by which subordinates are absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Like as parents, we should create facilities for the children. They should go to the children. We should have some kind of vidyashram, some kind of Sunday class or some kind of online session, some giving kids some kind of festivals. The responsibilities also included with that, some kind of responsibility in celebrating festivals. So to find out, no, some way how kids can be engaged also. So one has to brainstorm how the kids can get good Krishna conscious impressions and they remain absorbed in Krishna. They don't become astray. So sometimes what happens, the parents they themselves may not come to temple much. And they go home also, they may not do Mangalarti and all properly. They may not have that kind of devotional environment. It's the TV only is on so many times, all that. So then what happens, that kids will not pick up. Because they don't get that devotional environment at house. So we have to create facility in the house also in case somebody they have kids and you want to grow them. Like our Prashant Prabhu keeps the Prabhupada tune continuously, 24/7, almost. So that's very nice. So Prashant Prabhu, that box is there in the Master's gift I saw. So if you come or something, you can take it. We have that, I saw. So like that we can keep some devotional environment. We have some altar at house. Bhagavatam is there. Like some people became very great devotees by first in the childhood they would see the pictures in Bhagavatam or Gita. That had a very good impression. Later they wanted to read. See, just by keeping Bhagavatam and Gita also is very good. So I sent some video to all of you where it was showing that one should not just have, one should read also. But it's good to have and have also. This is, yeah, read further. We have to.
In this millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan, the king of the sun, which is the origin of all planets within the solar system. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated,
यक्षक्षुरेव सविता सकलगृहाणां राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेष तेजा यस्याञ्जया भ्रमति सम्भृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
"Let me worship," Lord Brahma said, "the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person and under whose order the sun, which is the king of all planets, is assuming immense power and heat. The sun represents the eye of the Lord and traverses its orbit in obedience to his order. The sun is the king of the planets, and the sun god, at present of the name Vivaswan, rules the sun planet, which is controlling all other planets by supplying heat and light. He is rotating under the order of Krishna, and Lord Krishna originally made Vivaswan his first disciple to understand the science of Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is not, therefore, a speculative treatise for the insignificant mundane scholar, but it is a standard book of knowledge coming down from time immemorial. In the Mahabharata Santa Parva, we can trace out the history of the Gita as follows.
Treta yugado chatato vivasvan manavedado manushchalokabriti artham Shutashe Kavedado Ikshvako na chakatito Vyapya Lokanavastitaha.
In the beginning of the millennium known as Treta Yuga, this science of the relationship with the Supreme was delivered by Vivishwan to Manu. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the king of this planet, the king of this earth planet, and forefather of the Raghu dynasty, in which Lord Ramachandra appeared. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaja Ikshvaku. At the present moment, we have just passed through 5,000 years of the Kali Yuga, which lasts 432,000 years. Before this, there was Dwapar Yuga, 800,000 years, and before that, there was Treta Yuga, 1.2 million years. Thus, some 2,005,000 years ago, Manu spoke the Bhagavad Gita to his disciple and son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the king of this planet Earth. The age of this current Manu is calculated to last some 305,300,000 years. of which 120,400,000 years have passed. Accepting that before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god Vivishwan, a rough estimate is that the Gita was spoken at least 120,400,000 years ago. And in human society, it has been an extant for 2 million years. It was respoken by the Lord again to Arjuna about 5,000 years ago. That is a rough estimate of the history of the Gita, according to the Gita itself and according to the version of the speaker, Lord Sri Krishna. It was spoken to the sun god Vivishwan because he is also a Kshatriya and is the father of all Kshatriyas who are descendants of the sun god, or the Surya Vansha Kshatriyas. Because Bhagavad Gita is as good as the Vedas, being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this knowledge is Uparishya, superhuman. Since the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are, without human interpretation, the Gita must therefore be accepted without mundane interpretation. The mundane wranglers may speculate on the Gita in their own ways, but that is not Bhagavad Gita as it is. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from disciplic succession. And it is described herein that the Lord spoke to the sun god spoke to his son Manu, and Manu spoke to his son Ikshvaku.
So yeah, today one gentleman had come to temple, and he was saying that how this Bhagavad Gita is, 5,000 years before only, right? And I was studying, it's written, like here it is written that Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from, okay, of course existed, and even before also. See, Gita is not, for speculative as of the encyclopedia money scholar, but it's a standard book of knowledge coming down from time immemorial. It's eternal. It's not having any starting point. Gita is always there. It is just repeated with a lot at different times. So Vedic knowledge is always there. So I was saying that. So people sometimes don't know. Like they're saying that, okay, so Krishna came after Rama. So that means Ram is before Krishna. I'm saying Ram and Krishna, they are eternally there in the spiritual world. So sometimes people may not understand how the Lord Krishna and Rama, they're not like people who took birth and then they went to their Lord. They're not that kind of Lord that they took birth and then now they're over. So Lord means he's eternally Lord. So Krishna is eternally Krishna. Rama is eternally Rama. It's not that Krishna came at one point of time. So they're all having spiritual planets in the spiritual world. They're eternally existing there. Another understanding we have that clarity by the understanding of Gita and Bhagavatam, we can understand. Correct, no? So we'll go ahead further. Text 2. Read text 2. I know you can't see. Okay, text 2. Evam parampara praptim idam rajarshyo viduhu sa kalene mahta yogo nashta parantapa. Yes.
Translation. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Purport, it is clearly stated that the Gita was especially meant for the saintly kings because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens. Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for demoniac persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. As soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of the unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment, also, there are so many editions of the Gita, especially in English, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. There are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars, but almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, although they make a good business on the words of Sri Krishna. This spirit is demoniac, because demons do not believe in God, but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English as it is received by the Parampara disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great one. Bhagavad Gita, accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. But if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculation, it is simply a waste of time.
सैवाय मया तेद्या एवाय मदत्या योगा प्रोक्ता पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यम् हि एतदुत्तमम्. Translation.
Translation. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Purport. There are two classes of men, namely the devotee and the demon. The Lord selected Arjuna as a recipient of this great science owing to his being a devotee of the Lord. But for a demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. There are a number of editions of this great book of knowledge. Some of them have commentaries by the devotees, and some of them have commentaries by the demons. Commentation by the devotees is real, whereas that of the demons is useless. Arjuna accepts Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and any commentary of the Gita following in the footsteps of Arjuna is real devotional service to the cause of this great science. The demoniac, however, do not accept Lord Krishna as he is. Instead, they concoct something about Krishna and mislead general readers from the path of Krishna's instructions. Here is a warning about such misleading paths. One should try to follow the disciplic succession from Arjuna and thus be befitted by this great science of the Srimad benefit and thus be benefited by this great science of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. So can we take a little pause? I just wanted to
Sure, Prabhuji.
just 5 minutes break.
Sure, Prabhuji.
We started late, so we just give 5 minutes. Yeah. Because we started just now only. Okay, now 5 minutes for this thing.
Does the class end at 7:30?
Oh, I thought of 7:45, but if you want 7:30 also you can. I thought like 5:45 to 7:45, but we can end early if you wish. Whatever you say. What do you say?
Whatever you say, Prabhuji.
No, whatever pleases you.
My Zoom says I started 55 minutes ago.
Yeah, we did not do much. Yeah. So fine, Prabhu, let us pause and then I'll come back.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you for staying back. Can you read Virat, I need you. Are you there, Virat?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, text 4. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah kathame tad jiniyam tvamado proktavaniti. Yes, Prabhu. Can you read the translation?
Translation: Arjuna said, "The sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this service to him,
Yes, science.
this science to him?"
Yes.
Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord. So how can he not believe Krishna's words? The fact is that Arjuna is not inquiring for himself, but for those who do not believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or for the demons who do not like the idea that Krishna should be accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For them, only Arjuna inquires on this point, as if he were himself not aware of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Krishna. As it will be evident from the 10th chapter, Arjuna knew perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of everything, and the last word in transcendence. Of course, Krishna had also appeared as the son of Devaki on this earth. How Krishna remained the same personality of Godhead, the eternal original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjuna put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. That Krishna is supreme authority is accepted by the whole world, not only at present, but from time immemorial, and the demons alone reject him. Anyway, since Krishna is the authority accepted by all, Arjuna put this question before him in order that Krishna would describe himself without being depicted by the demons who always try to distort him in a way understandable to the demons and their followers. It is necessary that everyone, for his own interest, know the science of Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna himself speaks about himself, it is auspicious for all the world. To the demons, such explanations by Krishna himself may appear to be strange, because the demons always study Krishna from their own standpoint. But those who are devotees heartily welcome the statements of Krishna when they are spoken by Krishna himself. The devotees will always worship such authoritative statements of Krishna because they are always eager to know more and more about him. The atheists who consider Krishna an ordinary man may in this way come to know that Krishna is superhuman, that he is Sachi Anand Vigraham, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge, that he is transcendental, and that he is above the domination of all of the modes of material nature and above the influence of time and space. A devotee of Krishna like Arjuna is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Arjuna's putting this question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the devotee to divide the atheistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being, subject to the modes of material nature.
Yeah. So he's senior by birth, then how to understand? So Arjuna is asking very honest, sincere question. And not for himself, but just to establish the position of Krishna. Because the demons do not like the idea Krishna is the Lord. For them, Arjuna inquires. And how We can say that. So we say the 10th chapter. Arjuna knew perfectly whether Krishna is the Lord. So there is no doubt in Arjuna's mind. So that's why I was saying that gentleman, he was that kind of idea that Krishna has appeared at some point of time. So same thing. So many times people have this doubt. The thing is, कृष्णा तो अभी आए और बाकी लोग तो पहले आए. Yeah, exactly. So say somebody who reads Gita as it is, then they can get all these questions answered. So he's Lord from time immemorial. And when Lord speaks, then demon cannot speak. Then demon will not have any weightage. That's why now the way you establish Krishna consciousness is you speak the words of the Lord directly. Let Krishna's words be spoken directly. Then automatically the demoniac explanations will be defeated. So in the time of Satyuga and all, you see the Lord kills the demons. But in Kali Yuga, we don't have to kill those demonic people who are giving wrong understanding, wrong interpretation. But we defeat their philosophy by speaking the pure message by Krishna. So automatically Krishna consciousness will spread. If you simply repeat, there's no much great rocket science. Just practice as sincerely as possible and repeat. I very seriously think that Virat Prabhu should have his own voice now at this point of time. Praveen Prabhu should have his own voice at this point of time. And all of you should have your own, some students. And you should regularly take some sessions for that. Read. You don't have to do much big thing. Just read and speak. That way you'll grow more. And follow the process. In Prabhupada's time, how long Virat Prabhu you are connected to ISKCON? How long?
November 2021.
So it's almost 5 years. So
Yeah.
5-year period, many of them were sannyasis. They became sannyasis in 1 or 2 years also. And they were like preaching, traveling, 5 years like a big scenery only. Like 1971, imagine, no? 1966 to 71. In the 71, the 5 years old devotee is the senior most. So that's why it's very vital. So that time they were already like sannyasis and preaching, expanding, so many people became devotees in 1 year only, 2 year only, 3 year only. 5 years is like a big period. So I mean, please don't take me otherwise. I'm not like complaining or saying that we are not doing anything, not like that. Please don't take me otherwise. I'm just saying that how, when I'm not doing that, what they would have been doing that time. For me, I'm 18 years or over introduced to Krishna consciousness. So, am I doing, so somewhere like 18 years, imagine 12 plus 6, and after Prabhupada departed, 6 more years. So many of them were gurus also. They were gurus, preaching, expanding, doing so much. But I'm not working that kind of capacity. So all of us have to seriously think how I can do more sincere service to Prabhupada. So it's not very difficult. You go for some book distribution, get some content. If you're eager, you will get some people. Like I was eager to read this, with some of you who said it's possible. So I have done good follow-up also. It's not like I've not been. And then I keep this session. I tell Prashant to call. I called Praveen Prabhu 2-3 times. Interested, did not. Then I still call so that Miss Praveen will understand this as Prabhu has called for that. So I am after you also to some extent. You are interested, but I'm also making sure that you all also take, participate, because it is mutually benefited. You also learn, I also do. Then I also get to hear and understand it, and by explaining, you learn understand much more nicely also. So it's a need for every sadhaka to have some preaching that accelerates your progress. So it's not a rocket science. Just you don't know anything, open a small book, read, and discuss a little bit. If no discussion, also no problem. If you don't know question, tell I don't know. I'll get back to you. And ask that question to your senior. It's very simple. If you're a very simple man, sincere, we can preach so wonderfully. So, and Krishna will send you some people whom you can regularly take reading and all. So I sincerely feel like, devotee like Virat Prabhu, Praveen Prabhu, and all of you in your capacity, you can easily have a group of 10, 15 people can teach and cultivate them regularly. And we can support you by answering your questions and once in a while taking sessions for your boys also. We can do that. If you want to get some question answer session with us, with me, I can do that. But you shouldn't be just doing follow-up and not explaining. You should also learn to explain and do that. Learning means you have to do it only, and then only you learn. Praveen, when did you get connected, Praveen? Which year? You were introduced.
I was introduced in 2020.
My Lord. You are even before our Prabhu. When I was thrown into preaching, within a month, I was introduced in 2007. Of course, I was gradually growing. But not chanting. After 1 year, I started chanting consistently. And within a month or two only, I was put in preaching. If you technically speaks introduced, then that way, okay, 1 year. But there was a full-fledged, not like small scale. Full-fledged. Like I remember I had boys, 6, 7 boys. Whatever, I don't remember the number. I was kind of just taking all meditation circle and book reading, so many things. Giving sessions, actively involved. I was just 19, no? 2008. Yeah, just 19. So now you are all like very matured and accomplished. It's not that you don't have time. You have time. You should be just eager to do this as a priority. And Krishna will send you, Prabhu. There are so many souls waiting. Not like everybody has to come to book reading of Rahu Kripadas only. Not like that. I mean, it says all of you are there, so your boys have to come. No, it's not. You can have your own boys. You cultivate them. I can give some once in a while, if you wish so. And you can ask questions how to guide them and all that. We can guide you. That way you can learn. It's like, we have in a medical field also, no? The Virat who was learning under this. So he was treating the patient. It's not that, he was always bringing the patient and putting the doctor. Correct, Virat? You were treating also, or you were just bringing always the patient to the doctor and just...
Treating, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So same way, don't you think that you should also learn that delivering and boys may come with some issues, problems, you should answer them from scriptures, benefit them. And you can check, like remember you checked with my some situation, you got your doctor and what is the right way to do.
Right.
Yeah, so same way you may also get some boy. You may have some question, may be difficult for you to answer. You also may consult, bring together. Correct, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So it's a very good, important experience what we all need. We all need that. And you don't have to be like a big charismatic preacher. In your own way. If a person of 1-to-1, okay, get one to one person. Read one-on-one, no problem. So you have to just be eager. Krishna will send you the right kind of people who are just ready to take active participation in your reading groups and all. I can even think of making a poster with you, a satellite in your area. Maybe do some fast Facebook marketing, invest some money, maybe $200, $300, and just do a Facebook marketing. Something you should do. Put on Instagram and in your nearby area, some kind of channel. Surely people will be interested. I'm very sure about it. There cannot be any preaching endeavor which is waste. No. There will be something, some benefit will happen somewhere. You have to really tax your brain how to do that. Otherwise, the demoniac people having the demoniac ideas will prevail in the society more and more. We are the people who we are holding the Krishna's words with us. And they are the weapons. So we have to release that Krishna's words. And how to release this? Open and read. That will create magic. Any reflection on this, what I spoke? You may say, Prabhu, life is difficult, I have job, I have family issues, marriage problem, career problem, financial problem. All these things will go on, Prabhu. And spiritual life can remain independent of that. That's external thing. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no? Prabhupada said, okay, for freedom, then only we can preach. Brother said, no, Krishna was an emergency. You cannot wait for anything. It's an epidemic, Everybody should help. Any reflection, please? Especially I'd like to hear from Virat and Prabhu. Sorry, I'm putting gun on both of you. You're on gunpoint. Sorry. Don't feel awkward. I'm just trying to a little bit churn on this and see how we feel about it. Yes, Virat was trying to, what do you reflect on this? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I think it's a good idea, Prabhuji. That because it
Just
gives.
1 minute. I am getting an important call. Just 1 minute. Just give me.